Welcome, everybody, to my talk show where I discuss things about my personal life, experiences, ideas, thoughts, and try to enrich that by doing research on another topic that is not exactly the same but related to it. And it's kind of like a learning experience. It's a interesting things to talk about, and you kind of get a different perspective this way, I think. And so, my name is Gabriel Flores, also known as AKA Maybe Lee. And today, the past couple days, we've been discussing different things about my life. And today, I want to ask myself a question. And the question is, this is just kind of like an on the spot question, something I just grab out of thin air, and we'll try to materialize it into something. And the question I'm thinking of, the question I thought of is, what's my position here on this earth? Um, I think it's kind of I like asking myself questions that are big questions that involve a lot of thought into it and can't be easily answered. And more importantly, this question is more related to me as it relates to how I'm connected to the larger part of the world. My connection, I think, what's my view or what's my position here on this earth, I think is when I ask myself that question. The reason why I ask myself this question is because um, I feel the burden of the world, but I'm not seeing really any pathway for me to be a part of the world. I don't feel like I am a part of the world, but I feel the weight of the world. I have to go out here and get a job. I have to fill out the application. I have to put on my job history. I have to do a ton of work before I can even get a job. Is an example of feeling the weight of the world, but not having, but feeling like there's not a place for me in the world. And I've been feeling like that more and more lately. And that's just an example that's not necessarily the root cause, but the root cause is there for that question. And the reason for that question is because I feel the burden of the world, but I don't see a pathway for me to enrich my life. I don't feel like I'm being afforded the riches that I'm supposed to have in this life. And so that's why I asked myself that question. That's why I thought of that. What's my position here on this earth? And so, I don't know if I think it's a good question because it's going to help me be more, less angry to the external world if I have a better understanding of the things I care about, and then I just employ myself. If I'm able to employ myself in the larger world, then I'm gonna be happy with that. I'm gonna be busy. I'm gonna be occupied. but I feel like I shouldn't have to. Um, I should automatically know where I'm at as it relates to the larger world, because when I say the larger world, there's billions of people on the earth, but really there's no like solid connection with those millions of people. There's land territory stretching all around the globe, and that's part of my world, and I'm stuck here in this little area. But yet, the big issues that affect the entire world, those areas with deforestation, um, oil spills in the Gulf Coast and other places around the world, um, and stuff like that. These larger things affecting that have a impact here where I'm at, and where I'm forced to start recycling. I'm forced to be mindful of the paper that I use, and this and that. Yet I don't. There's 7 billion people out there. There's all this land territory, and I'm imprisoned here in Avondale, Arizona. I don't know even a small fraction of all those people. I don't feel like there's a connection, like a deeper connection, like there's a spiritual world. I don't feel like there's a spiritual world doing its job. There's probably not. I'm probably it. So, but at one point in time, the idea was thrown out there. Yeah, there is a spiritual world. We are connected with everybody here in the world and stuff like that. But I don't feel like that's true. Um, and so that's why I asked myself that question: what's my position here on this earth? And I figure, I was given these ideas for a reason. I feel like they're out there for a reason. They were given to me, as far as deforestation, um, pollution, and too much garbage and stuff out there. These ideas were given to me, and I think that is my position in the larger world. And I feel like that's true. That is true. That's my position in the larger world. So even after just doing this, I feel better already about the question. But I don't feel like I'm where I want to be with the question as far as what's my position here on this earth, because I also feel like there's another side to it, not just me, but the spiritual world, all those other people. What's their obligation, responsibility to me, as far as showing me a pathway in this life, giving me a job, and all that stuff. But I feel like it's a good start when I start thinking about oil spills, um, and the responsibility to recycle. And I can see how that can benefit the world. The only problem is, one person recycling isn't really making a big difference. So you have to figure out how you're going to leverage that into meaningfulness and making it something that's worthwhile for the individual to do, because that can actually be more detrimental than it actually is good, because an individual person recycling sees how much garbage they put out compared to the rest of the world, and the impact of garbage, the size, the scale of it. It's really nothing. If I quit recycling, it's not going to mean nothing for recycling on the war front. It's not going to mean anything. So that's the problem with that. And so I just I'm not sure about this question that I asked. What's my position here on this earth? I know it's a good question, but I'm not feeling like I'm getting a good solid position as far as what's my position here on this earth. I'm not very happy with it. So I think the question, what's my position here on this earth, should be changed because it's too vague. Um, I think what I need to do is take a different approach. I need to really be proactive and say, well, what do I want my purpose to be, or what do I want to achieve? Where do I want to go in life? How do I want to impact the world as a whole? Do I want to impact the world or not? So I think I need to take a different approach to finding higher meaning in my life. I don't know what that is, but I'll figure it out soon. I was thinking about recycling though after this question. When I was asking myself this question, I started thinking about recycling and trying to leverage it to mean something for an individual. And so I Googled um, recycling here in Avondale, and I found a local business called New Avondale Recycling Center Inc. Their web address is recycling avondalerecycling.com. avondalerecycling.com is their web address, and they're a local um, company. It's not like the city of Avondale. It's actually a private business that is out here, and one of their sayings is, "No job is too big and no job is too small." And so, just relate that back to that question that I tried to take on, that had far-reaching purposes and implications. But they seem like a pretty good company. I tried learning about their company, but the about section and their gallery was failed. It failed. They said they're working on getting it up and running. They have at the bottom of the web page, they have a message center where you can write them a message. I wrote them a message, asked them a couple questions, and sent it through, and it went through just fine. I haven't received a response back yet from them. And basically, it's a company that pays you to recycle. I'm not quite sure how to calculate that, but I'm sure ideas will start come flooding in. But it seems like a good business for me, for an individual, to make a little bit of money, but their website doesn't provide enough information to tell me what my profit margin is going to be. So I even after going to their website, which looks like they have a nice brand new logo up there and everything, and it's a website, I still don't know if what my profit margin is going to look like as somebody who's going to send them my recyclables and stuff like that. But I know the work that I have to do. For the most part, I know what they recycle. They recycle copper, aluminum cans, plastic bottles, and containers. They have some other types of plastics on there. I asked them about. I wasn't sure about the other plastics thing they had on there, so I asked them what it meant. I can't remember what it was, how it was worded, but I said what's plastics, blah blah blah. So I'm hoping they'll say plastics, blah blah blah, is plastic Walmart bags, plastic Ziploc baggies and blah blah blah, and delineate it that way. I'm hoping that's what they do. I didn't see cardboard on there, surprisingly. I would have thought cardboard would be on there, but I would think cardboard would be profitable because you can still turn that around and throw that back into cardboard, because cardboard doesn't have to be a certain. I mean, it has to be a good quality. Everything has to be a good quality. So, but it seems like, yeah, if you can take broken glass and turn that back into a, or if you can take plastic bottles and old plastic bottles and turn around and create a brand new bottle from an old one, then you could take cardboard and turn that into a new piece of cardboard. But they don't have cardboard up there. They just have the stuff I mentioned. So what they'll pay you for is, and it sounds like they pick up, but they didn't say they only pick up a certain amount. But according to what they said, no job is too big and no job is too small. So if they pick up, that means they'll pick up any amount, according to their saying. So they said they pick up, but I'm still not sure how that works. And I'm not quite sure how it's going to work when I drop stuff off over there. They said they recycle by the pound or something like that. So I'm wondering, can you do anything less than that? And so there's some questions that need to be answered, but it seems like a pretty interesting business that I'm interested in. Until next time, guys, see you later.